Hi, everybody, and welcome to the DRF Breeding Report. I'm Dan Illman, joined by DRF Breeding's Nicole Russo, and we're going to recap the juvenile sales season by spotlighting 5 very expensive 2-year-olds that you may want to follow in your handicapping later this summer. Nicole, we've got to begin with the most expensive 2-year-old sold in North America this year, a very impressive Tiznow Colt. We're going to look at his breeze right now.
Yeah, this Tiznow Colt sold for $2.45 million at OBS April. Bloodstock agent John Moynihan purchased him on behalf of Coolmore's MV Magner. Coolmore plans to race the Colt in a partnership. I would imagine that partnership would include Stone Street Stable, who Moynihan also buys horses for and who Coolmore has partnered with frequently in the past. This Colt breezed a furlong in 9 3/5 seconds, which is actually the fastest breeze of the season for a 2-year-old. So just wow speed from a Tiznow Colt. And Tiznow is sort of a horse you think of as a later developing sort of sire.
Certainly has a lot of stamina. Tiznow stands for $60,000 at WinStar, 2-time Breeders' Cup Classic winner. There's a lot of versatility in the bottom of this family, including plenty of sprint influences like Champion Gold Beauty. But looking in the direct female family, you've got sprinters like Buffum and Renaissance Lady, versatile sorts like Stormy West, who is great at stakes placed on the turf, Value Stream, who could run well on turf as well. This Colt has a lot of class, obviously, and stamina on top, but some speed on the bottom. And he's obviously precocious, breezing in 9 3.
Yeah, and it's also the family, if you dig back through it, of, Champion Sky Beauty, Champion Deja, more recently Grade 1 winners like Violence, Pine Island, Point of Entry. You've got success going short, going long, on turf, on dirt. So just, a lot of versatility, as you mentioned. The dam is also by Distorted Humor, who's an emerging broodmare sire. His daughters have produced the likes of Arrogate, so really a lot of class, both top and bottom, in this family.
And not a bad pinhook as well for this Tiznow, a $125,000 yearling purchase who sold for $2.45 million, a record for the OBS April 2-year-old sale. Now, the highest priced filly is a filly named Diamonds and Pearls, a daughter of Congrats, who also stands at WinStar. Congrats stands for a $20,000 stud fee. We're going to look at the catalog page of Diamonds and Pearls, who also worked very quickly.
Yeah, 9 4/5 seconds for this Congrats filly. She's gone out to trainer Bob Baffert now. She's been working regularly in California for him. She actually just had her first breeze from the starting gate last Friday, June 15th. So she could be approaching a start here this summer, perhaps at the upcoming Del Mar meeting. And Congrats, just a very classy sire, especially a classy filly sire who's kind of underrated. He's sired the likes of Turbulent Descent, Have You Got Away, Emma's Encore, Wickedly Perfect, just a very nice AP Indy line stallion.
And Diamonds and Pearls is always sold up, $60,000 short, yearling, $250,000 yearling, and then selling for $1.7 million at OBS March, as Nicole mentioned, now with Bob Baffert. Congrats, versatile stallion, gets the good fillies, as you mentioned, ballerina winners that you mentioned as well. Second Dam Westerly Breeze was a graded stakes winner, going 2 turns as a 2-year-old, so there's precocity there. But there's also some stamina deep in the family with Jacksonport, who was just a hard hitter back in my day.
Yeah, and certainly you also get stamina on top from AP Indy, that sire of Congrats. So really a little bit of both here in this pedigree from a filly who certainly looks precocious.
We're going to take a look at the catalog page of the next 2-year-old we're going to spotlight, this one by the Super Stallion Curlin, who stands for $150,000 at Hillendale Farm. This one's name is Curlin's Honor.
Yeah, this Colt was purchased in partnership by Breeze Easy LLC, which is a big player in these 2-year-old auctions, and John Oxley, going to be trained by Mark Cassie, who handles Oxley's horses, of course. This Colt at the Fasig-Tipton Midlantic 2-year-old sale breezed his furlong in 10 flat, tying for the fastest time there. And again, just an example of some precocity and brilliant speed from a stallion you think of as more of a later developing classic type stallion. Of course, Curlin was a classic winner or classic placed runner in every crop he's produced so far.
I love the fact that this horse has been able to show speed early in his 2-year-old season, but also plenty of stamina influences in his pedigree, of course, beginning with Curl and Swingers Party. He's a half-brother to a Dirt Router, Hubba Shake, Powden County. These are horses that did their best running around 2 turns, and you've got a lot of class as well in the bottom of this pedigree with sires and stakes winners like O'Gaijin. So this Florida-bred Curlin's Honor, always well regarded, a $475,000 yearling going for $1.5 million. This is a horse with classic breeding.
Yeah, certainly. And as you mentioned, a horse has always been well regarded. Mark Caffey, upon signing for this horse, actually told me he'd been watching him since the July sale, had been to the farm in Ocala to watch him training for this phasing Midlantic sale. Mark Caffey, just a really high opinion of this horse, scouted him out early, and now purchased him for one of his top clients in partnership. So I'm sure that this is a name we'll be hearing again.
Let's move to the catalog page of a very exciting prospect by Uncle Mo. Stands for $150,000 at Ashford. This filly's name is Beyond Grace, and she's got a full brother that has already multiple stakes placed on the turf.
Yeah, Mighty Mo, very interesting turf runner for Uncle Mo. Uncle Mo just throws such an athlete. I really think they would run over anything, as they've shown early on in his stud career. Just beautiful movers, beautiful athletic horses. Certainly this filly, now named Beyond Grace, showed that, breezing in 10 1/5 at Phasing Tipton's marquee Gulfstream sale of 2-year-olds. Purchased by Larry Best, who really came out swinging this 2-year-old season, purchasing 4 7-figure 2-year-olds during the season. He hasn't discussed specific plans for this filly, but he did say that he sends most of his horses to Chad Brown, so she could be headed there.
Another filly that sold up throughout her very brief auction career, $50,000 as a weanling, $250,000 as a yearling, and as Nicole mentioned, for $1.5 million earlier this year, of course, by Uncle Mo, who has already sired a Kentucky Derby winner in Nyquist. There's a lot of turf in this pedigree with Mighty Mo and Lotus Pool, who was a nice European horse, but there's also some nice dirt horses deep in this pedigree as well. Golden Larch ran 3rd in the Woodward twice, so I'm sure we're going to see Beyond Grace. This is a filly that should show speed, but also might be able to stretch it out to middle distances and beyond.
Yeah, certainly you would think so, and certainly the female side indicates that, and the Uncle Mo's have run on well as 3-year-olds and beyond, so, certainly I would think.
The final 2-year-old that we're going to discuss sold for $1.45 million earlier this year, and this horse just has a wonderful pedigree, top and bottom. We're going to take a look at the sales preview workout from this Bernardini colt, working a furlong in 10, the co-fastest of the sale.
Yeah, and then Coolmore picked him up, one of their top buys of the season. Just a phenomenal female family on this horse. Names you're going to know. He's out of a mare named Winner, dam of Grade 3 winning juvenile Ocho, and the Grade 2 placed Private Ensign, who's by AP&D, the sire of Bernardini. Second dam pennant champion, also the dam of a Grade 3 winner, and the dam of 2 multiple stakes producing daughters. And where are you getting all that class? Of course, from the 3rd dam unbeaten champion and Blue Hen Personal Ensign. And it just seems like every family that she's involved in turns to gold. So just a class pedigree underneath a class stallion here. Absolutely,
from a classy Phipps female family, Personal Ensign, one of the greats. The 3rd dam, you've got speed under the 1st dam with Ocho, turf under the 2nd dam, pennant champion with horses like graded stakes winner Animal Spirits and Interactive and Divine Oath and Anti-Joy. So this is just a tremendous family for a colt that originally sold for $350,000 as a yearling before selling up for $1.45 million earlier this year. 5 2-year-olds to follow this summer and hopefully into next spring. If you want to follow the latest breeding news, you can always follow Nicole on Twitter at DRF Russo and DRF's breeding page on Twitter at DRF Breeding. We'll talk to you soon.